Hi everyone, we're gonna start. We're gonna start soon. I hope we are live. If there's someone, just say hi on the chat. We have a busy schedule for today. So today, let me first, what did I want to do? Where did I want? Ah, yeah, I wanted to go on Twitch just to check that we are indeed live. Otherwise, I'm gonna just speak alone. Okay, we are live. Good. Okay, so let's start. Hi everyone. Actually, the one person being connected. Hi, very glad to see you. So for today, we're gonna do something very, yeah, everything is fine. So today what we're going to do is continue working on the project Maps of Science, where we use open source data to create an atlas, a gigantic map of all scientific journals. A project that I started a couple of weeks ago here on stream, and that goes well. Hey! Cheers, nice to see you. So as you know, Nikolai, right? We made good progress on these maps of science, and especially in the computation of the similarities between journals, so that in a minute we have an entire network of journals where two journals are connected if you have one or several authors who publish in the two journals of the pair. So that's where we are. This morning I just wanted to have a look at the network in Gephi, and an issue is that with 70,000 journals and 6 million ages or connections, Gephi is super good, but quite slow for such a big network. So what I wanted to do is in Java, using a programmatic approach, you can spatialize the network. You don't see the network being spatialized, but it's being done behind the scenes. And then you open it in Gephi already laid out. But then I thought, just like I do for the last 2 years, let's do that in a kind of, not professional, but let's do that in a rigorous way, not for me now with a bit of script that I will forget or lose, or let's do that in a way that it lasts, and the next time I need to lay out a graph in a programmatic way, I can just reuse what I've done today. And so today we're gonna do that, and let me show you. So the challenge for today is that I would like to do it in an hour. If you follow this stream, you know it never works, but we can always try, right? Let me rearrange my windows, my screens. Yeah, Nico, I know it. Somebody told me that last week. I don't know how to do that. I should do that at some point. I don't have the time now, but I'm aware of the issue. Okay, so I'm moving that here. So the goal for today is to the goal for today is to add a button here that would, so No Code Functions is the website I developed where I create a very easy version of the tools I'm developing. So we should add a blue button here saying upload a GEXF file, which is a classic file format for Gephi. So you upload your file, the app spatializes it, and when it's finished, you just have to download it and open it in Gephi. With some luck, we're going to be able to do it in less than an hour. So let's do that not in Gephi, in NetBeans. So what we need is No Code Functions here. This is the web front, if you want, the front end of the app. And what we need is a function that is going to be called. So which way should I go? Okay, let's not overthink it. We're going to start with the front end. So I start with the index, the index.html file. Oh, it's so slow. Okay, you see it here. That's the index file. So I'm going to add a button, basically copy pasting the last button, and so we're gonna call it. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to localize, to translate the button in many languages. It's okay. So the function is going to be spatialized. That's going to be the keyword we're going to use. So it's going to be spatialize it could be layout, but spatialize is fine. GEXF. I'm not going to say GXF because maybe we're going to change it later. Spatialized network. So that's a page we're going to create. The button should be called spatialized. And that's it. So I'm going to, if you look at the page, you have the buttons on top. but I just copied the button again at the bottom, so I'm gonna just be consistent here, and yeah, that's here. I'm gonna just paste that here. It's just for the as a convenience. So now I'm gonna create the page specialized network. So I'm gonna just create a my functions. Each function is in a dedicated folder. So I'm gonna create a folder, new folder called specialize. It's right there, and in it I'm gonna just copy one of the existing pages. So I don't need many pages. I just need one page. Upload, download. You upload the GXF, you wait for it to be laid out, specialized, and then you download it. Or maybe 2 pages. When it's finished, you just move to the next page. Maybe it's gonna be easier. Yeah, 2 pages. Okay, so the first page is gonna be a very simple page like the one I have for network converter. So I copy it, I put it in specialize, I rename it specialized network. Specialize with no, that's fine, just that specialized network. I don't see anyone. Yeah, I see your comments there, so we should have a look sometimes. So we have the page. The page should be completely. So I'm gonna just do a find and replace. I'm taking the initial name of the page and I replace it with this specialize network, specialize with an I, network, replace all. I'm gonna have to write a lot of things. That's okay. Oh, you don't see much. As you see, most of the work is going to be front end because back end is not that complicated. Choose file or read below. That's exactly what we want. Okay, and in this case, we're gonna upload a GXF file, so we don't need that. Launch button. Okay, all of that I suppose I should keep. So the button convert, I should. Okay, that I don't need. So it's not going to be button convert, so it's going to be button specialize, or however you pronounce it. It's always rendered. Okay, so when the user is going to be converting the file, it's going to actually call some Java code in the app, and I need to create it. So where do you see the logic? this is an HTML file in the end, but where do you write the code to have, the file that you uploaded sent to an API and specialized with Gephi? Well, you need some backend code for that. So you can use PHP, Java, whatever. I'm using Java. And we're gonna, as you see, I have one, oh, you don't see it, but I have one file per function. So I'm gonna just take an existing file, which is convertibin, and I'm gonna duplicate it for our needs. In this case, we're gonna call it spatialize bin. Bin is a kind of Java idiom to say class or some object in the context of an application. Okay, that's fine. So spatialized bin, this thing is going to be responsible for receiving the file that the user has been uploading. So then each function has a name. That's how we can keep track of where we are. We good. So that's logic to upload the file that we took from another function. We're gonna keep that. Go to those view where we don't need that. But we need it, but we won't transfer. I mean, the function I'm using as a template is the one converting a GXF file into a VOS viewer file. So I'm going to keep this function that takes a GXF file as an input, except that we don't want to convert it into a VOS viewer file. We just want to lay out the network. So it's going to be the same logic, but to do something else. No file found for layout. Okay. And oh, that's the beauty of it. It's so simple. And so with the file that the user has uploaded, the GXF file, how do we convert it to, how do we lay out, spatialize it? Well, we just send it to an API endpoint that I'm going to create. And it's going to take the file, spatialize it, and return it. And I need nothing of that. Yeah, good. I need nothing of that, right? Just send the file, basically. And then receive the file back, and that's it. Oh, the file that you receive back is this one, and we should rename it as is it the name of the file? Where's that? Yeah, okay. So it's going to be GXF laid out, laid or specialized. Let's be consistent here. Spatialized. So that's the output. If it's null, GX laid specialized written by Gephi was not correct, error, whatever. Oh, we could share it publicly, not the case here. Why do we write it? Why do we need to write it to the disk? don't want to write it to the disk. I really don't care. I should remove all of that. No, I remove all of that. Don't need that. I remove all of that. Fine. Set options. We don't want an option. It's just always the same. JXF file. Get option, get item, set item. All of that we don't need. We don't need all of that. Okay, get file to save, that is important. But where do we get the file stream? What is this function doing? Not clear at all. Get file to save, what this thing is saying. Okay, I mean, I don't care about that, but there is a bit of code I can reuse. Yeah, exactly that. So as you see, I'm gonna receive a byte array. That's how the specialized GXF is gonna be returned by the API. And what do I do with that? Well, I'm gonna just store it as a file that can be downloaded, and I think that this is where this is the button that will do it. Well, actually, I think this is okay. I think I can just remove what I have done above because, okay, this is the part that I don't need, so I'm going to remove all of that. And the part I need is this thing called get file to save. So it's really ugly. It's more like, or maybe that's the proper term, but okay, let's keep it. No file found for spatialization. Spatialization. The API endpoint is going to be spatialization. We receive a GXF file as a byte array, which is good. If there's an error, there's an error, and if not, result.gxf, which is ready to be downloaded by the user. So simple. I can remove all the rest. Yeah, the file is. Oh, and I can remove all these things. I don't need that. I don't need that. Okay, good. Good. Not saying it's gonna work, but so let's go back to the HTML. So I didn't make a mistake, but I was confused basically the part I need is upload button. I think I deleted the wrong part. This is the part I need. Yeah, exactly, and that's the part I don't need. So the idea is button specialize GXF. I don't really care about the button ID, but let's be okay. Good. I don't need. Maybe we don't need that. Text. I'm gonna change the text. When it's gonna be. Okay, and that's specialized bin. So that's the bin we have created right there. Specialized bin. Very good. Oh, I should go back to the bin, by the way. Make sure I did not call it. I can remove all these things. Oh, all good. All good. All good. Go back to the HTML. Parameters. We don't need parameters because it's really just, you know, spatializing network. So everything I had put there that can just be removed. Wow, I love removing these things. I don't know. Just that. There. Is there an error? Yeah, it's an error. This thing should be removed. Okay, I just have a launch button. Where do I get the file to? Oh, file download is there. It's going to be just there. Weird. I'm going to have to think of the timeout, because if I take 2 minutes to spatialize, the session should not time out. Let's hope for the best. Okay, so we have the general infrastructure to receive a file, send it to an API, receiving it back, and offering the file for download. More or less, right? I suppose it's going to break the first time I'm going to try, but that's more or less that. What else should I remove? Update launch buttons. Do I have a launch buttons? Oh yeah, I have it. Okay. Okay, let's say we have something like that. So now we need the API to actually do the work. What I'm going to do is, how can I do that? I'm going to copy paste maybe something I used elsewhere. I mean, always the clever thing. So I take one of the functions I've created elsewhere, a project in NetBeans, I copy it. Ooh. Yeah, it seems like it's possible. Specialize. Function. So just click on enter and hope for the best. I'm gonna have to clean the Git folder in it. So let me show you how that looks on my hard drive. Okay, so these are the functions I've created in, in different contexts. And we just have this specialized function, which is I just copied the CoWo function. For CoWo is about creating networks of words, and I just copied it there. And it gives me that, which is good. So I'm just gonna update the README, not entirely, but just as a way to not completely. So it's good. Specialize. What it does is specialize the GX file of a very large network quicker than it would be done in Gephi. I remove that. We don't care. We don't care. We don't care. That's me. Okay, that's a very basic README file. I can close it. The POM file is the kind of file with all the parameters of. Oh no, yeah, okay, good. So I'm gonna call it CoWo. I'm gonna call it specialize function. So I'm just replacing. No, let's do it manually. Specialize function name. You guessed, specialize function. Dependencies, so this one is a classic one I tend to use often. I don't need that, I don't need that, I don't need that. I need the Gephi toolkit, of course. That's the heart of the thing. It's Gephi, but without the graphical user interface. I don't need JSON. If I need it, I'm gonna reintroduce it later, but at the moment I think I don't need it. So it makes for a very short file. If you just have a look, right? It's a very short. That's the entire file for the parameters of my function. Good, and then I can just look back at that in. So that's the same. The changes I've made on my text files on my disk, I can just see these changes here in NetBeans. What? No, there is a. What a pain. I've never seen that. Okay, it was obviously a bit difficult to do the copy paste. It didn't like it. Why? Why? Let me try to do a clean and build. Who knows? I don't need. Source packages is owned by whatever. What is this joke? What is that? Maybe I should, yeah, I should do something first. I should add this. I should add that to the parent. Oh, it's here. Specialized function. It's already there. So why is NetBeans giving me a hard time there? I don't want to be bothered by all of that. I'm gonna just recreate it from scratch. Source packages is owned by whatever, cannot be used here. See issue, whatever for details. What is this thing? I like to copy this message to 138310. Well, what is this ugliness? A restart of NetBeans seems to solve the issue. Right, honestly. Okay, let's try a restart from NetBeans. I don't really trust it. I'm just going to close a couple of projects so that it's faster. Let's try that. Closing NetBeans. Opening NetBeans. So it seems like we are struggling, but in practice we are almost finished, which is crazy, right? But that's really the case, to be honest. Okay, so lesson learned, I should not just copy paste projects because they have files inside that don't like to be copied. I should actually restart a project from scratch. You are so right, Nikolai. Pesky is exactly that. Okay, so hopefully, yes. Do you see that here? Let me zoom in. Yeah, no more. Okay, it was okay. Never mind. So I'm just gonna rename the package so that you know, I imported that from. Oh, I don't want a new package. I want to rename it. It's a bit slow. Okay, there. Spatialize. And the good thing is that, okay, come on, hurry up, just renaming. Okay, fine. So I just need, as far as I'm aware, one single class or file, if you want. This one, I'm gonna call it. I'm a bit lazy because I could have just recreated a file from scratch. It's really not. But I prefer to follow things that work and adapting things that I know for sure works. Okay, so that's the file of a function that exists. So I have a main function. In Java, the main function is the thing that hi Veronica, are you joining or leaving? So the main function is the thing that launches the thing. Yeah, for tests. Oh yeah, that's a pretty big function that I used. But so I'm not going to call it analyze, I'm going to call it spatialize. It's really dumb, but so what it takes as an input is a good question, is a string, right? So it takes the string and so the text of the GXF file. And look at that, I can just remove all this ugly stuff of the function. Wow, that's a big function. And I just keep the end when actually I work with when I work with the Gephi files. So remove all of that. No, where is the beginning? There, somewhere here. Yeah. Ta-da! At line. Ah, Veronica, just joining. Okay, very glad to see you. So just to let you know where we are, I want to visualize the maps of science that I finished building. So I want to visualize them in Gephi. I hope to see a kind of, I want to see a kind of bean-shaped map of science. But the file is so big that actually I just wait in Gephi for the spatialization to occur, and it never occurs because the file is too big. So instead of writing a small script in Java to spatialize the network quicker, just for me, I thought that I could actually create a function in no-code functions that would do just that. A user like me would upload a GXF file. The function will spatialize the GXF file much quicker than it would be able to do in Gephi. And then when it's finished, the user just downloads the file, and then you can open it in Gephi. It's already spatialized, so you save a lot of time. And yes, yeah, Nick. Well, I see the exchange, and yeah, indeed, Veronica, we're glad to have Veronica here, and in general on the scene of network apps and BI apps in general. I've seen the one on Looker you just did, Veronica. Pop. Okay, so spatialize. How is it working? So we receive from the API a GXF file, which is a string, right? A piece of text. And this is where the magic happens. We just use Gephi, but programmatically, through lines of code. That's it. And this thing is very complicated, but I don't care. We just need the very basics. Let's remove that. So we need to import the GXF file. This GXF, we need to import it in Gephi. How do we do that? I can't remember. I'm just going to copy paste from another function. From opening, and it takes ages. I should go directly to the, I'm going to go directly to the, not in NetBeans, just directly in the files. So it's network something. Yeah, this here. I think in this function I open a GXF file. Do you see it? No, you don't see it. So that's another function. Let me copy paste the part where is the GXF file opened? Yeah, great. It's here. No, it's not here. It's here. You see it here? And can I zoom in? Yeah, if you look here, it's so simple, but I didn't remember it by heart. Just these 3 lines of code. So I'm copying that back to NetBeans, and pasting that here. So it's about having a container. Where is the container? Container is here. You just define a container somewhere. Oh, and you also need an import controller. So let's do that. Again, it's these things I don't understand actually, right? It's really just the logic of how Gephi works, and Mathieu Bastien has provided tutorials on how to use this Gephi library, and I'm just following it blindly. Okay. Oh, you don't see where I'm situated now. And that's almost there. So we have imported with these lines of code, we have imported our GXF file. Very good. Once we have imported a GXF file in our code, we can work with it. That's exactly what the next lines of codes do, except that we don't want to do this. What we just want is spatializing the network. We don't need all of that. So I'm removing all of that. Yeah. So how do we spatialize a network? I have written many projects where this happens, but can't remember where these projects are. I'm just going to go to the tutorials. Gephi toolkit demo, I think. Yeah. So we have plenty of examples there. And it's called spatialize or layout. Preview, ranking, auto layout. I don't care. I just want a specialization. Where is? Headless simple maybe. Filter, layout, got it, it's there. Okay, well. But how do you create a Force Atlas 2? Because I'm going to do, I'm going to do open node layout. Okay, let's try things. I'm surprised there is not a layout thing. Okay, let's try. That's too bad because I really had written that elsewhere, but I can't remember where. Let's try it and find this. It was a super project with Twitter data, but I think I have archived that now. Let me try and find that off screen because where did I put these things? past projects, maybe. Yeah, maybe that. Yeah, maybe that. Complicated. Oh, no, got it. Yeah, with graph spatialization, yeah, I have something which is called graph spatialization. Look at that. Do you see that on screen? It's from a long time ago. 2017. Yeah, still kind of old. Look at that. I have everything I need. Oh, I'm so happy. I can just reuse that. Oh, I don't do anything like open order. Let's not complain. I'm super happy that I have all of that. Oh, I can just copy paste. Fantastic. Lucky me. Okay, pasting that here. Oh, I had a clever thing to limit the time it runs. Fantastic. Where is that? I mean, what's the issue here? Oh, because I take a parameter, maximum time running in seconds. And that's a good idea. So let's put that as a parameter to our function. Spatialize is for this maximum time running in seconds. As you recognize my habit of having variable names the size of a book. Perfect. All of that is fantastic. And then you export the thing. And you return the thing, and you remove these ugly things. Oh, I think, as I remember, this one is important. Otherwise, I have a right or not. Let's not delete things too quickly. No, well, I can't remember what that was, but so where are the errors? I remove the unused. I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need any of that. I don't need all of that. I don't need that. I love deleting code. Okay, no more error signs. So we finished. Fantastic. What time is it? 6 minutes to finish. We won't get there, but almost. So now I just need the API that will be called by the front end that will launch the function, receive the result, and send it back to the front end. It's there. All of that is on GitHub if you are interested. It's just there. Let me find the API, the repo for the API. So it's a web, it's a server that is called Javelin. It's called Javelin, the framework, and it's a super simple web server in Java to, it does many things, but especially I find it super practical to create web APIs. And that's what you see here. Where is that? You know, it's called no-code functions as an API, so not super complicated. And if you open it, each folder, each package is, so you have the main package to launch the, you know, the web server itself. Super simple, by the way, but, and then each package is an API endpoint. So easy. So we're gonna take the one that has, you know, for network conversion, because this is where we have, the logic of receiving a GXF file. So let's just copy, paste. No, it doesn't look like that. Why? Copy. I just want to paste it. Oh, maybe I can just do Control V. Yeah, Control V should be enough. I hope. I would expect. No, not happy with Control V. Control C, Control V. No. Why that? I just want to, come on, man. Let's not waste time on that. Copy. Paste. Okay, so let's forget that. Let's do that on the disk, as the developers say. Let's do that on the hard drive directly. Just let me show you where it works. So the no-code functions web services, source, main, Java. Oh yeah, but that's, yeah. And then I take that, copy it, paste it, and I rename it Spatialize. Done. Except that I've broken I expected that it has broken. Oh, there is one file in it. It's so easy. Okay, so it's not Spatialize, the name of the package. Spatialize, and inside we're gonna rename the class. You know, it's not Voice Viewer Conversion endpoint. It's Spatialize endpoint. And inside, so this thing is going to receive what the front end has sent. So the exact URL is going to be Spatialize. And what do we receive? We're going to receive bytes. So yeah, I think that's that, right? Yeah. We don't need these ugly things. Yeah, fine, it's all that. So as you see, we receive the GXF file that the user has uploaded. We receive it here as a byte array, and we convert it. So why an input stream? we don't need any. We can do yeah, we can just no, we want a string because that's what our function takes as an input. Our function takes a string as an input, so we should have a string reader that converts the bytes array we received into a string, and I hate doing it, so I'm going to copy paste it from our, we have done that somewhere here. I think it's right there. It's there. No, where is that? It's not that far. String reader. Where was my string reader? Maybe I should be less lazy and actually start writing that instead of always copy pasting. I think the string reader takes a byte array as an argument. Let's do as if that was the case. String gxf equals new string reader from a body of bytes. Well, it doesn't. Oh yeah, because it's a string. No, I'm doing something stupid here. Oh, come on. Let's just ask the internet. Java turn convert a byte array to string. New string. Wow, there's nothing more simple than that. Yeah, just that. And then once we have that, let's remove all this ugliness. Oh, we're gonna have a parameter, sorry. Oh, I deleted the parameters. We have one parameter for the number of seconds, but I'm gonna add it later. And then we just, launch the function. Oh, so we should have the function as a dependency. Where's the function? Spatialize, oh, it's there. What's the name? It's called spatialize function. So I'm going to add it as a dependency to the web service right there. I suppose it will complain that it doesn't find it. The reason is that I have not generated it yet. Is it 1.0? Oh, it's so slow. Yes, fine. Okay. So, and what's the name of? It's called spatialize function. Okay. And that's it. So let's look at spatialize function. Spatializer equals new, just instantiating this function, this object, and then launching the function. Come on. Oh, it's so slow. Oh. Spatialize. you specialize the GXF for, honestly, that's super fast, but we want something like for big networks, so 30 seconds is already big. And it returns something, right? It returns the GXF specialized. And this thing is just sent back to the front end. And that's almost it. As you see, it's like super easy. I just have to register this new endpoint in the big file where all the endpoints are registered. Right, that's how I called it. Yeah. Endpoint. Specialized endpoint. That's how it's called. Spatialized endpoint. Okay, this is registered, so the next time I launch the API, it will make this endpoint available. Okay. Wow, I think everything is in place. Let me remove all of that. Everything is in place. Of course, it's going to break the first time I'm going to do it. I would like to be careful about the timeout, but I can't really remember. Let's go to the front end. Where is the timeout? The parameter for timeout, where is it set? I think it's there. So this file is an ugly file with plenty of parameters for the front end. Timeout 30, but 30 what? I think it's 30 seconds. But no, it can't be 30 seconds. So I think it's 30 minutes. So let's double check that. GSF, which is the name of the web, the front end in Java that I'm using. GSF session timeout default. 30 minutes, so we're good. And I should be careful about the timeout for the HTTP request as well, because I'm not sure. So again, that's another search. Java 11 HTTP request default timeout. Okay, it doesn't mention which it is, so we're gonna just specify it explicitly. I suggest yeah, 2 minutes. I should be careful here, but 2 minutes. I should be careful because then if I change the number of seconds and actually somebody say if I allow 3 minutes and I have hard-coded 2 minutes as a timeout for the request, then I'll just shoot myself in the foot. So I think it's there, right? That you can, yeah, super easy. Of seconds, so 2 minutes. Ooh, I don't like it too much, having this hard. What's the issue here? How am I supposed to write that again? Oh, I need a builder. Okay, if you want. Show it to me again. HTTP client, no builder. Okay, and then build. Okay, so that's what I could think of as a difficulty. So let's check that we do send yeah, that's fine. So how is the API? Oh, by the way, I don't need that was just for the other one. I just don't need that. Oh, and I have hard-coded 30 seconds there, so definitely. So Nikolai, for the first step, it goes wild and track the time it takes. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be an empirical question, like how long do I need to, what is a reasonable time for a very large network to be specialized? In my remembrance, it's like super quick, like maximum less than a minute, as compared to, you know, half an hour in the graphical user interface. I'm super tempted to give it a try. Okay, let's give it a try, but that's gonna take us far because the user interface is gonna, let's at least launch the user interface. Oh, so that's, oh, I just built the API. Okay, let's do the full because everything is so much slower when I stream. You know, the building a project takes ages. Still manageable because since I decoupled the front end from the functions, just so much quicker. Ideally, I could just, you know, modularize even more, but at the moment I am at a sweet spot where I manage enough modularity that build times are what? I know. So this is a mistake, and the mistake, if you're curious, is because something has changed recently in the build. It's right there. It's a bit annoying, but I've been through that recently, so I know that in the new way that you use this configuration file should actually list its options one per line. And just doing that should solve the issue, I hope. Okay, so the last one is, is it that? I'm not exactly sure, that seems weird. It works. So I'm building the web front. and then I'm launching it. I expect to have bugs, but I should be able to fix them live, so to speak. Like when you do changes to the HTML page, you just you don't need to recompile. You just look at the so run, right? You can see, you just do a refresh and you see the result, hopefully. So just to remember, the end goal of all of that is that when I have this big map of science, I'm going to use no-code functions myself to just upload my file there, having it specialized in a couple of, like in less than a minute. And then I can finally open it in Gephi and see whether it has this donut shape or bean shape or not. I couldn't see that this morning. I tried my best, but no suitable deployment server is defined for the project. Oh, I hate that. What happened since the last time? Run, yeah, no server selected. Why can't it find no server? Come on, I have. Oh, but because I changed, I updated Neatbeans. I think it's a Payara server. I have plenty of servers. Which one should it be? That's it? Yeah, because I upgraded my IDE and hopefully that's just that. You know, the connection between the IDE and the servers it could launch, this connection was lost. So let's hope it was as easy as that. Yeah. Payara could not be started with the latest GDK 19. Oh yeah, okay. Well, great. GDK 17 is fine with me. Yes, it should be fine. Yeah. Yes, Nikolai, my experience with NetBeans is overwhelmingly positive. I rarely get annoyed by managing the IDE instead of spending my time coding. It does happen sometimes, just like you saw, but it was quite legitimate, right? That you install a new version of the IDE. I mean, ideally, it could have transferred the parameters from the previous installation to the next, and just to remember where my servers were. But it was, again, I don't want to go too fast, but so far I would say that it was pretty painless to just re-import these servers configurations. And I'm a bit of an advocate for NetBeans because it's perceived generally, I mean, very much as an outdated IDE. Everybody I know is using, in the Java community, is using JetBrains. Can't remember, but like the most famous one, JetBrains. What's the name again? IntelliJ, yeah, IntelliJ. That's, you know, that's the default. But what's happening? It seems like it takes ages to launch, but it's launching. It would seem. Yeah, so everybody's using IntelliJ. But I think the real reason why they're using it is because they work in companies that provide them with free licenses. I mean, with licenses that they should have paid otherwise. But NetBeans is just completely free, and it works great. I would be more sure when we have, it's coming. So again, to insist, it's usually much quicker, but when you stream, the whole stuff is much slower, super slow. Okay, finally deployed. Oh no, it's deploying on. It's deploying on Edge. Why not, right? But, okay, so that's the app which is currently running. As you see, I often have these CSS issues. I never understood why. Okay, we have the button specialize here. The text is completely messed up because I did not I didn't translate it yet. Can switch to English. Convert files between Gephi and VoiceViewer, so we're going to change that, like specialize your network. So we can choose a file. That seemed to work. I should choose it from here. Ah, but that's not a GXF file. I have to turn it into a GXF file first. Shoot. Well, I'm going to do that later. Can I find like a random GXF file somewhere? Yeah, this one. And then, well, if I click there, it's going to crash because it's going to try to call the API, and the API I have not launched yet. So I just need to launch it, like run, and the API is going to. So the API is much quicker to run, to launch. Let's have a look. Launched, right? It takes a few seconds there. Actually, it takes less than a second to launch. Okay, so the API is running, so it's ready to receive. It's ready to receive the GXF file we have loaded there. I will expect errors, right? But we can be lucky. Okay, so nothing happens. So either things are running behind the scenes or we have an error, which seems more likely. Yeah, we have an error. Connection refused, but that's okay, because that's not, yeah, no file found for spatialization. So we have an issue here. Not here. In the front end. Okay, it didn't get the file we uploaded, which is surprising because there is no reason why. Okay, I'm gonna leave that here. The work is not finished. I have to debug it, but basically everything is in place. We just need to iron out the last quirks or quicks, and you know, translate and stuff. I'm just wondering why it didn't get the file we just uploaded, but there's a reason for that. So we couldn't test the API because the file was not there. I see that later. Yeah, I see that later, but almost there. So as you see, the logic of today was to no, Nikolai, the thing is really well done. In this respect, it's really handled by the framework. I don't do buffer and path. It's really handled by the framework. I don't know exactly. I've been very quick at changing at creating this HTML page, so I'm sure there are some obvious things I missed, like forgetting a form tag or something, something of that sort. But the logic of everything we did today is to I want to move fast, but when I identify a step which I'm gonna have to a step like spatialization of this big network. When I identify that it's a pain, it's gonna happen many times potentially, but this math of science is gonna happen many times that I'm gonna have to specialize big networks. I also guess that it would be useful to many other Gephi users. In this case, I know I should stop and do what we just did to save time, to also benefit the community. And it's not like, it's not too difficult, because as you've seen, I have everything installed. I have the front end, the back end, I have plenty of code from previous projects. So it just takes an hour, or actually it's going to take a couple of hours to finish up this step, and then forever I'm going to be completely relieved with the pain of having to specialize things in Gephi when it takes too much time. So thanks again for being here. Thanks Veronica for your support. Thanks Nikolai for your interest in the project. And I agree with you, Nikolai, that this is a bit of an investment, but to get more fun quickly. Next week, maybe. So have a good day, everyone, and let's all be back to work. Cheers.